Mr. Local Group, tell me, what can change an ecosystem? What happens to the ecosystem? What happens to the organisms in that ecosystem?
Volcanic air erupted
Eruption, okay. Volcanic eruption.
can make animals and plants die.
Okay. What
Just fuel up. The animals can move to the other place to find a shelter.
Okay, what happens when animals go to a new place and find a new shelter?
Well, if that continues, that ecosystem would be overcrowded.
What's overcrowding?
The ecosystem that had too much animals live in.
Okay, fine. Thank you very
And it
much.
can be overcrowded.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. Right, okay. Thank you. Katie, what can change an ecosystem? Give me an example, please.
A human.
Humans, okay. How do humans change an ecosystem?
The human now make the pollution and the pollution make the ecosystem.
Okay, what does pollution do to an ecosystem?
It make the earth they make the earth hotter.
Makes the earth hotter. What happens when the earth gets hotter?
The Arctic will melt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And okay, so what happens to the living things when the Arctic melts?
The animal will die.
Okay, very morose. What? Animals will die. Okay, and what can we do to fix this issue? So if pollution is causing the world to get hotter, and because the world is getting hotter, the ice caps are melting, what can we do to stop pollution? What's the 3 R's? Reduce, reuse,
And
recycle. Easy. Okay, good job. So, New, what can change an ecosystem?
Cutting trees. Put
Trees.
grass in the volcano.
Volcanic eruption. Okay. Volcanic eruption, natural change or a man-made change?
Nature.
Natural change. Okay. What happens when a volcano changes an ecosystem?
It makes the ecosystem hotter.
Okay. What effect does that have on an ecosystem?
There are no plants or animals live near there.
Okay. And what about, will that ecosystem change back? Will it become normal? Will it go back to the way it was?
No,
No. Why?
because the volcano each year it will explode one time.
Okay. And what? So what happens when it explodes?
The lava kill animal and plant.
Okay. And when the plants and animals die, what happens to the ecosystem?
If one kind of animal live here, it will extinct.
Okay, but can the animal just move away and go somewhere else?
But it can't move fast when the volcano, when the
Yeah.
lava.
Here's a funny known fact about animals, Noob. They're actually very perceptive. They understand when a volcano is going to erupt before humans do. Don't know what it is, don't know how it is, but they just seem to know. Animals run away. There's many stories of when there's a volcano about to erupt, birds fly away from the volcano. They'll fly very, very far away. So take some time, do some research about this. Baldy, something that can change an ecosystem.
Pollution.
Okay, how does pollution change an ecosystem?
If there is a land pollution, the land is full of chemical, they would have the trash would not be healthy for the plants, and there would be no nutrients from the soil, so that plants would die or they will grow not very tall.
And what can humans do to stop this kind of pollution?
They would reduce. I mean, they would not use harmful chemicals to the plants because harmful chemicals are man-made. We use them to kill the insects on the crops.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Makes sense. Hacker.
Yes.
Oh, so one, tell me something that can change an ecosystem. Two, tell me how it changes an ecosystem. And three, what happens to living things in that ecosystem when it changes?
The volcano when the volcano explodes, then the animal will always sniff the smoke, so they will be poisoned, so they could be dead.
Okay, they could die. Right. Okay. And animals in that ecosystem, will they come back? Will they go somewhere else? What will they do?
Their ecosystem couldn't live in it, so they need to get to a new place to survive.
Okay, so they need to go somewhere else. What happens to the place that they go?
If they are not lucky, the new ecosystem will be destroyed. If they are lucky, they will live in them for hundreds of years.
Okay, the reason I asked the question is I want you to talk about overcrowding, not enough space, not enough food. Okay, think about those things. Rosie, your turn.
The weather change.
How does the weather change affect an ecosystem?
Sometimes our weather can kill plants and
Okay, sometimes weather can kill plants and animals. Okay, so what do plants and animals do?
some can run away and some just stay there and find a safe shelter to hide in.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Simple, easy, good job. Billy.
A wildfire can change an ecosystem. It forces all the animals in the environment to move away. Then when the wildfire has stopped, it makes the soil more rich and plant life will grow back and the animals will come there and live again.
Cool, excellent answer. Well done, Billy. Really good job. Trixie, what's something that can change an ecosystem? How does it change an ecosystem? What happens to the living things?
Well, natural disasters could change ecosystems. For example, hurricanes and tornadoes, or
Sure,
volcano eruption.
okay, and what happens to the ecosystem after one of these events?
It will get completely destroyed, and the animals won't have shelter and food.
Okay, what will the animals do?
They will have to go to another ecosystem and live there.
Okay, and what happens to the ecosystem that they go to?
But if that ecosystem doesn't have their needs, they could change their eating habits and their other habits.
Okay, yeah, good job. Okay, thank you, everyone. So, as I said yesterday for your homework, I want you to finish the letter and then finish the homework I gave you yesterday. I want you to write about two things, two ecosystems, two changes to ecosystems. If you have finished it already, congratulations. Sleep, take a load off. Study, up to you. I don't really mind. But the point is, relax. Thank you for finishing your homework. Okay, so we've only got about 5 minutes left, but I want to start this, the new section. So we're finished with ecosystem change. We do have a couple of worksheets to go through, but I'll start them the other day. I want to introduce the new idea to you. So next thing we're going to be looking at is adaptations. Okay, so you can tell me, what is an adaptation for an animal? Who knows what an adaptation is? I kind of looked at this already a little bit when we looked at plants. Adaptation is something an animal has or does in order to survive in its ecosystem or its environment. If I was to ask you, why must plants and animals adapt? Well, the reason they need to adapt is because each one of their ecosystems is different, right? If you look at the idea of a polar bear and a grizzly bear, Now, polar bears and grizzly bears, both bears, they both look completely different. One is brown and lives in the jungle. One is white and lives in the snow. Would a brown bear be able to survive in the snow? No. Would a polar bear be able to survive in the forest? No. So their adaptations are what helps them survive in their environment. When their environment changes, for example, the polar bear going to a forest, the polar bear isn't adapted. It doesn't have the right color fur. It doesn't know what to eat. It doesn't know how to survive in that environment or that ecosystem. So an adaptation lets an animal survive in, remember, its environment. Its environment only. When the environment changes, either the animal adapts or it doesn't survive. So adaptation allows a plant or animal to survive in their environment. It can be behavioral, means it's something that they do, or physical, something that they look like. Have a look at this hedgehog, right? So a hedgehog is a really good example of both behavioral and physical adaptations. Okay? So the outside of a hedgehog is pointy. They've got little spikes, spine, so the animals won't eat them. That's a physical adaptation. The behavioral adaptation is that when it gets scared, it rolls into a ball. So who has seen the film Sonic the Hedgehog? New Sonic the Hedgehog. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's great, super enjoyable, family fun, friendly, awesome. But what Hedgehog does, so I'll write this down for you so you can understand what I mean, is that physical adaptation is this. So it has spikes, so animals won't eat it. But then behavior is when it gets scared, it rolls into a ball. You can tell me another physical adaptation of another animal. No problem. Cherry, what's special about a giraffe?
It has a long neck.
And why does it have a long neck?
So that it can reach tall trees.
So it can reach tall trees. That's an adaptation for a giraffe. A giraffe has an adaptation to have a long neck so it can eat tall trees. Steve, can you tell me another animal and its adaptation, please?
A polar bear can go in the snow.
Okay.
It can go in the snow. It takes a long time.
Okay, so a polar bear's got really
Adaptation.
so a polar bear's got really thick fur, got white fur as well. So these are adaptations for these animals, okay? Things like, I'll show you really quickly. So think about a giraffe, right? A giraffe's got a really long neck. It has this long neck which allows it to eat. These dolphins, they swim for miles and miles and miles. They go from one place to another in order to migrate. So it's behavioral. Go to look for food. The bird does this dance, really funny, weird dance in order to find a partner, a mate. And this hummingbird has this special beak that allows it to drink nectar. All these are adaptations. Okay? So what I want you to think about is how adaptations help animals survive. Okay. I'm actually not sure what the animal is called. I just found the video. It's a good example of behavior. So what we're going to do the next day is we will on Monday we'll start talking more about physical and behavioral adaptations. A physical adaptation is a part of an animal's body that allows it to survive in an ecosystem. An example is camouflage. It's here. Another one is behavior. Behavior is something that animals do in order to survive. So examples are like hibernation, going to sleep for a long time, migration, going somewhere else, and just general instincts, knowing to do something, okay? Okay, everybody. So thank you all for showing up to class today. You know what your homework is. Finish your letter and finish the homework about the two ecosystems and how they change. I hope you have a lovely day. Okay, right, everyone, bye. Have a great day.